A controlled vocabulary monster love story. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there lived a lonely and intellectual creature named Etam. He would often paddle the river, searching for a smart companion to help him reach his research goals. One day he spotted a beautiful female creature sitting by the river. She looked sad and lonely. Her name was PubMed, and she was full of research knowledge that she only wished she could communicate. Day after day, month after month, he saw her there, but was afraid to ask her why she was so sad. One unusually stunning summer day on the river, Etam finally got the courage to talk to PubMed. He greeted her nervously. Jabel, Gudel, Jegel, Schmiddel, Geschäfte, und Nina Nana. She looked at him oddly and responded, You're cute and seem like a nice guy, but I have no idea what in the Sam Hill you are saying. PubMed motioned for Etam to come ashore, and she led him to the local hangout that wasn't very fancy but had some really great barbecue. Over a delightful meal of barbecued research beast, PubMed explained to Etam how they could better communicate. PubMed explained, I am from an old, wise database tribe. I speak MESH. MESH stands for Medical Subject Headings. It is one type of controlled vocabulary. PubMed used pictures and drawings to explain this concept to Etam. She wrote, Controlled vocabulary is a standardized list of terms or words used to organize or index and retrieve information. She gave him this example sentence. MESH is a controlled vocabulary used in the PubMed database to retrieve journal articles. Then she showed him an ancient video passed down from her tribespeople and the database PubMed, after which she was named. To search MESH terms in PubMed, use the drop down here and change it to MESH. I'm going to search for diabetes. And that takes you to the medical subject headings or MESH list. And right away I see that usually the term you're looking for will come to the top, but you might want to look through the other terms that come up on the list. I'm going to go right to diabetes mellitus because I know that's what I'm looking for. You can click on the actual title to look at more information. It gives you the definition, so you can make sure that's the term that you want, and then it gives you a bunch of subheadings. There's quite a few subheadings here, and just remember when you check something here, like if I click on diabetes mellitus education, I will search very specifically just for diabetes mellitus education as a topic. If I search for genetics, I'll be looking for genetics material related to diabetes mellitus. So you don't want to click too many of these things or it will be too narrow and you won't get a very good search. So if you scroll down, it also gives you a hierarchy of terms. Diabetes mellitus falls in the middle of all these terms. So if you go up one, glucose metabolism disorders is more broad term. That includes diabetes mellitus. And then, of course, if you go below diabetes mellitus, you'll see that there are more specific terms related to diabetes. So I'm going to go ahead and just add diabetes mellitus to my search by clicking on Add to Search Builder over here. And before I get out of MESH, I want to add another term. And what I'm looking for is things on patient education related to diabetes. So I'm going to search for patient education. And you'll see that patient education as topic is the MESH term for patient education. There's also a term for patient education handout. There's photography dental, and it goes into some other terms that aren't really related, so we know that this is the one that we probably want, but we'll take a look here. And then again, it gives you the hierarchy. So, and it also includes, sometimes it will list entry terms. So the term patient education as topic also would include anything that has education, comma, patient education, or education of patients. It will link. If you put in education of patients in as a text word search, it would link to patient education as topic as a MESH term. So I'm going to go ahead and add patient education as topic into the search builder. And I'm going to go ahead and search these two mesh terms. Again, we're not searching keywords anymore. We're searching with medical subject headings. So we should get a better search results by using mesh. And so I'm going to further limit these 7,910 results to clinical trials and last 5 years. And maybe I only want full text. And so I've got last 5 years, 271 results. And then if I wanted to just search one other term with just using another term but not using mesh, you can always add something like I'm just adding and anxiety just to see how that might narrow a search, I should say. So my 271 results goes down to only 11. Now keep in mind I have all these limiters, so maybe I want to just see what's available and eliminate full text. I still only get 11. Maybe I want to see more years back rather than just 5 years, and I get 28 results. Maybe I want everything rather than clinical trials. So I get 101 results. So you can, the best search often is combining these mesh terms with another term, or you may want to go back to mesh and search for anxiety. One final point I want to make about mesh terms. Here I'm just in PubMed. I'm not searching mesh or not using mesh terms. I'm just using straight text word searching or keyword search here for diabetes and exercise. So you conducted the search, and let's say that you find an article on your list that's highly relevant and it's what you're looking for. So you've clicked on the title and you've looked over the information and it looks good and it's what you're looking for. So if you scroll down on an article that you really like when you've done a keyword search, you can go down here and click on this publication types, mesh terms, and substances to actually see the mesh terms assigned to the article. Now, not all articles will show mesh terms, but most of them will in PubMed. So if they're not, if this link isn't there, it's just that particular article doesn't include the terms. But you'll see here we search for diabetes and exercise just in a keyword search, and we're looking to see what else is associated or how this article was indexed with what terms. So if you look down this list, notice that diabetes, of course, is on the list, and that's why we found this article, but there is no exercise as a term here, but you do see motor activity and physical exertion. So exercise may not be the best term for finding the article you're looking for. And the reason we found this article is because exercise is included. It searches the text and it's included in the text. But if it wasn't included in the text or not on this keyword list, we may miss articles that don't include those words. So again, make sure you look at that list when you find something highly relevant. Look at those mesh terms because it might help you put better terms in your search to find the best articles. So that's my final tip about searching with mesh. In the process of learning to communicate more clearly using controlled vocabulary, Etam and PubMed fell in love and lived happily ever after.